Hey everybody, Lars here. The very first, hopefully not the last, won't be the last, video for summer 2020, the summer of COVID. Although I think we're going to be done with all this soon. I think we're going to open up pretty soon here in New Jersey. Anyway, I digress, as I will do often. I've thrown up a whole bunch of practice videos. First, you got the 2 videos for the slides. Yeah, every time we do slides, this was a 2-week, although summer goes a little quicker, but it's a 2-week section. So you'll get a review video for each week. The bigger units, Unit 3, Unit 5, they go 3 weeks, little bit compacted for us. But you'll see, then you'll be getting 3 review videos, plus I do little extra added on things. This cycle, I think I got you the penny program, I got you the temperature, the Fahrenheit to Celsius converter, I got you the extra video on data types, and now I'm going to do this real quick. If for no other reason, just so I could say hi and let you, class of 2020, get a video of your very own. Because as I say in some videos, and this is the one where if I do announcements you can listen because it's for your cohort. Like I always say, I don't want to just have a bunch of canned videos and then send them to you. You know, anybody can do it. It doesn't feel like there's a real course going on, like there's actually somebody like the Wizard of Oz behind the scenes throwing all the things, actually looking at your code and making sure that you're becoming Python programmers. That is the case. I don't want to just throw videos at you like it's some correspondence course. So I am going to hop on and I am going to do videos as I can do them. This video, you'd be surprised, but this video is tougher than most because we don't have a lot of Python to use, so I have to try and get creative and figure out some things to do. I found a couple of things. We're going to cheat a little, and I'm going to show you a library really quick. We're not going to do libraries until Unit 4. I don't want you to get bogged down with the toys. That happens a lot when you learn a computer language. You get bogged down with the IDE, the Integrated Development Environment. You go and use Eclipse, and you want to use all the bells and whistles with Eclipse. Or you use Sublime, and ooh, this is my new text editor, and blah, 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 blah. You don't learn the language. That's what you're really there for, to learn the computer language, to actually learn how to take that problem-solving knowledge and codify it and turn it into a program that you can go back and use. So I'm going to jump on right now. I'm going to do 2 things really quick. I'm going to write a program that takes as input the radius of a circle, and then boom, we're going to print out the area of that circle and the volume of that circle. Then lastly, really quick, we're just going to input the day, what is the month and the year, I think? And then I'm going to use something called the calendar library that comes with Python, and we're going to print out a quick calendar. You will never have to buy a calendar again. You'll have some pretty boring calendars going forward, but you never have to buy one again if you don't want to. So, from beginning to end, I'm going to show you my process now. I'm going to double-click on my Python 3.7. I know you probably got 3.8 because you got the latest and the greatest. That's fine. I haven't upgraded this one in a while, so I have 3.7. Also, you'll notice my idle looks a little bit different than yours. I got a black background and I've got some different colors. If you go to Option and you go to Configure Idle and you come over here to Highlights, you can make the colors anything you want. Now, it is my recommendation to you that you don't change any of the things that are going to help you down the way. One thing that Idle does, and a lot of different IDEs do, is they color different aspects of your code. So you'll see that keywords are orange. Strings, or the words that we use inside of programs, they're green. Comments will be red. Okay? Functions, when we get the functions and we start using them, like right now you're using the print function, they're purple. So it actually helps later on down the line where you could look at a piece of code, and if you want to look at a function and it's not purple, you go, huh? And you look at it, you'll often find that it's misspelled or something along those lines. Colored code is good for debugging down the line. So I really haven't played a lot with changing the colors as far as all that's concerned. What I do, because I think it's easier on my eyes and it harkens back to my old fuddy-duddy days in the 80s when I used to work on mainframe computers, I'm used to a black background. Back in the day, it was just a black background with green lettering. And I kind of got used to that, so when I play with my IDEs, I usually go with a black background and then bright text. Your mileage may vary. You'll see all the videos that I do. I use the regular white background with the black lettering because I don't want to, differ too much from what you're used to and confuse you, but just in this case we're using another machine, so I just wanted to bring it up there. When you pop up your idle or your interactive window like I've done right here, and it's not black and it's not yellow, don't be shocked. I went and I customized everything. All right, as usual, I'm taking a 10-minute video and I'm making it 20 minutes because I won't shut up. Let's see, file. I'm going to do it slow because I want you to see me do it. I've got the interactive window here. So if I want, I can do some Python things here in the interactive window, but it's not really writing a program. To write a program, what I want to do is go File, New File, and then I have a separate program here that I'm going to put code in. And then when I run it, the output is going to be here in the interactive window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a few comments. You can see they're red. I do the number sign, the hashtag, the octothorpe, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to put my name. Usually people put the author, Lars, and I'm going to put the purpose of the code, playing around with circles. Good enough for now. All right, so the around. What does around mean? So the first thing I'm going to do when I run this program is I'm going to take input from the user. So I'm going to have a very simple variable called R. You should actually make your variables as descriptive as possible. So instead I will call mine radius. And what I'm going to do is I want to get it from the user. So radius, am I going to take, yeah, I'll make it a floating point number. And I will say enter the radius. Okay, and if you remember from the videos and from the stuff that we've done, I use the input function, and the input function is going to print enter the radius and then take the input that I give it. And then we're going to take that and we're going to cast it, or we're going to change its data type to a floating point number. So in the variable radius, I'm going to assign, remember, that's not equals, all right? In Python and in a lot of programming language, equivalency is two equal signs, okay? That is assignment. So I am assigning what's going on here to that variable. So at the end of the day, it's going to say enter the radius. I'm going to throw in a number, 4, 6, and then 6 is going to be turned into a floating point number, which will be 6.0, and then put into that variable, which will hold it. So then I now have the radius. What do I want to do? I want to print, let's say I want to print the area, and I want to print the volume. So we are clever. So we are going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to do all my arithmetic in my print statement. I'm going to start by saying the area of the circle is, comma, and then I want to print what the area is. And the area of a circle is pi r squared, if I'm not mistaken. Now, later, we're going to talk about the math library. We're going to talk about a place that keeps all the constants. You're never going to have to remember what pi is. You're just going to have to say pi, and it'll work. But for right now, I'm going to hard code it because I don't want to get into all that stuff. So I know it's 1592. I don't want to go further than that because I don't think I have to. Times r, and we learned that exponentiation is 2 asterisks, which makes sense because multiplication is addition on steroids and exponentiation is multiplication on steroids. So for exponentiation, we have 2 multiplications. So it kind of makes sense. All right. And that's all there. You don't have to do it in Python, but if you'd like, you can group with parentheses. I often do. As I said, I'm an old fuddy-duddy, and I came up using other languages that would require that, so I'm kind of used to seeing it. You can do it here. It's fine, but you don't have to. So I'm going to actually test my program right now. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way at first, is I'm going to say File, Save. And I'm going to click Save, and I'm just going to throw it on the desktop. I will call it Circle Test. All right. And then I want to run it. So I'll come up here and I'll say Run, and F5 says Run Mod. Well, I say F5, Run Module. I'll do it the old-fashioned way first. So it says Enter the radius. So I'm going to enter the radius, and let's say I give it 4. And of course I'm going to get an error. What did I get an error? I'm getting an error because I said See, it happens to everybody. It's not just you that are getting errors and having problems. I didn't use the variable r like in every circle formula you've ever had in your life. I actually spelled out the word radius. So, radius exponentiation. Now, I'm going to tell you right now. Then I would go to save, and then I would go to run. But you're going to notice most Python programmers don't do that. First of all, that extra space is making my OCD scream. What I usually do is I hit the Control S. Okay? And then to run the program, I'll hit F5. If you look at your keyboard, Control S, F5 kind of makes a little diagonal. All right? And when you become a Python programmer and you play around with idle a little bit, you're going to learn how to do that in your sleep. So you're going to see as I do these videos, you've probably even heard me give this explanation before. I'm going to run right up and I'm going to run the program, and you're going to be like, how the hell is he doing that? It's not a secret. I'm just hitting Control S and then F5, and then it's running the program. All right? Now, enter the radius. Let me try it again. Number 4, the area of the circle is that. I'm going to trust the math because I'm not going to go check it. So now we gave the program a radius, and it printed out the area of the circle, which is a good thing. So now I'm going to teach you another thing to save time. We're going to highlight that. I'm going to hit Control C to copy. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to hit Control V, and we're going to get 2. And then I'm going to say volume of the circle is, and then we have to put the formula for volume. Okay? Not going to lie to you. I had to look it up. I never do a lot of volume stuff, but it is 4/3 times pi, that I didn't have to look up, times radius cubed. Now that's good because exponentiation, a lot of people say, why don't you just have something to square things? Square, 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 square. You never know what power you want to bring things to. So it's good to do it with exponentiation, and then you can bring things to whatever power you want to. Yeah, you're going to do star 2 a lot. But in this instance, I want to cube that number. So, because it's volume, it's a sphere. So I want to, take it up a dimension. So I want to cube it, and I want to do that. Also, I'm going to group like I did the last time. I want to make sure, that'll do good. I want to make sure my parentheses are balanced. So I not only want to end that print function, I want to end here where I'm grouping. Another thing, I get lucky here with the precedence of operators. Okay? I make sure you keep that in mind, because here I think I am going to do that division before I do any multiplication, and I am going to do that exponentiation before I do any multiplication. So it's Python follows precedence of operators. You're going to see that. All right. PMDS, right? Parentheses, exponentiation, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. All right. So when I do this, I have no idea what the volume is. All right, 6. 6 is 900 something. All right, so I think I'm in the ballpark. So the area of that circle is 113 and change, and the volume would be 904 and change. Okay? I'm hoping that's right. I think it is. I would have to look it up. So very quickly, this is a simple program. 3 lines with some comments, right? But at the end of the day, we did a lot of things. We're assigning variables, right? We're casting. So we're taking something that's one data type, right? You're inputting the results of an input. The return value is a string. You're turning it into a float. So you're casting. You're learning how to use functions because you're using the input function. You're giving it a string, which is just a series of characters, so that it prints it out to the screen. And then when you take give it the number, and I do it right here with a 4 and a 6, it turns it into another data type, 4.0, 6.0, and puts it in the variable, in the radius. That word is just a pointer. It's just a placeholder that holds it. If I want to change it later, I could change it and use the same thing. It's just like, think of the variable name as cubbyhole, and I'm putting things in that cubbyhole. That's all. All right? And then I use the print function, and you can see you can print what we would call a string literal. That's literally what I want printed out, and then comma, and then here I do a formula. And what Python will do is evaluate that formula and then print the answer. The first thing I do is the formula for the area of a circle, pi r squared. Heard that a million times. And then on the second one, I change it to volume, and I do the formula for volume, which you haven't heard a million times, and which I had to look up too, so don't worry about it. Okay? So that's it. The important part about this, and this is Unit 1, so I just want you guys to get used to the simple stuff. The important thing about this is circletest.py. I've saved it, right? Done. Done. All right, do you see it's right there? I saved it on my desktop. I take the garbage out, I walk the dog, I watch some YouTube videos, I go to bed. I get up the next day and I go, hey, I need to find the volume of some spheres. I better, go back to my Python program. I come here, I double click on my 3.7. I say File, Open. And what am I going to open? I'm going to open this is my desktop, right? Where's my program? I call it Circle Test, right? There it is. I'm going to open Circle Test. And look at that. My code is there for me. Okay? So because my code is there for me, because I've written a program, because I have a durable store, an actual file that I can bring up with my logic in it, then the next day it's just a matter of Control S F5, and all of a sudden I'm computing areas and volumes again. Okay? Now, some people will ask me what the difference between, doing things here. If I went R equals 4 here, and I said print radius 3.1415, good enough, R squared here, and I did everything here, I'd still get the radius, right? Only now, when I turn everything off and I go back the next day, that logic's all gone. Because I only did it in the interactive window, right? I just did a quick, simple one-off because I wanted to know the answer to the question, and that's it. Okay? Here, I've got it in a program, and I've got it saved. When it's time to hand in assignments, this is what I want. This is the file I want, because the TAs, me, we're going to load these, and we're going to run them. And we're not... Well, we are. We're ogres. We're not bad ogres, though. That if you go to school for computer science, and it was like this when I was a student, if you handed in some code and it didn't work, you got a 0. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? We're not like that. We know we're not, A, we're not jerks and ogres like they were to us in the old days, and B, you're here to learn how to program. We're not here to beat computer science over your head. We want to teach you some Python programming. So we're definitely going to look at the code if it doesn't work right away and see what's going on and give you feedback and not take a ton of points. And we know you're learning and all of that stuff. So don't worry about that stuff. Yeah, run your code. Yeah, make sure it works before you hand it in. But if everything's not perfect and sometimes something happens, don't worry about it. We're not going to clobber you and give you a 0. This did not work. Don't worry about that. We're not going to do that to you. So there you go. Simple thing just to take a variable and play around with it and get some results. So we got that area of the circle thing licked. We never have to do it again. It's right here in our program, and we'll always have that program. One last thing we're going to do. Should I do this? This is definitely a mistake. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to teach you about the import command. You see that it's orange. That means it's a Python keyword. That means you can't use that as a function name. You can't use that as a variable. It has special meaning in Python. But what I'm going to do, is I'm going to import a library called calendar. It's a library that comes with Python. So it's there for you to use. I am also, just to show you how to do it, going to comment out our circle code. You can see all I did was put the number sign in front of our code and it commented it out. So now it's not going to run anymore. So now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it quickly, is I'm going to say y equals, do I want integers here? Integers, inputs, enter the year, and I think we want to go full year, but I don't have to say it, I don't think. All right, That is not balanced, and that is not balanced because I did not end that. Now it should be balanced, and it is because it lets me go to the next. Year and month, I think. It is a circus day. Today was a total circus day. Enter the year, enter the month. YM perfect. Print calendar. Always tell it the library. And we're going to learn about that in Unit 4, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. And I think we want the month. And with the month, we want to give it the year and the month. And we want to balance our things. And I think we're good. So what we're going to do, 4 lines. We just import the calendar library. I'm going to take a variable called year, which is a full year. I'm going to give it 2020. Then I take the month, which is going to be the number. So I'm going to give it 6 for June. What it's going to do is it's going to print the monthly calendar. And what's today? The 3rd. So the 3rd should be a Wednesday. And then we'll know we're cooking with gas. Is that correct? I think it is correct. Only one way we're going to find out. Enter the year, 2020. Enter the month, 6. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Feel that nervousness? The tension's killing me. And there you go. You can use the calendar library to do a whole bunch of different things with calendars. If you want, I'd have to look it up, but you can print the whole year. You can print a whole yearly calendar. All right? I don't know. You can't get like LeBron James on it or Garfield or anything like that. I hope I'm not dating myself with Garfield. I might be. But you can do a simple calendar. As you can see, it starts with Monday, not Sunday. Sunday last, which is a little odd. But Wednesday is the 3rd, so I think we're in good shape with that. Okay? I'll tell you a little behind-the-scenes story before I start doing announcements. When I was originally looking for ideas, I thought I would go to an old trick where you would give somebody a date. Like, I don't know, with all the space stuff last weekend, people were talking about the moon landing. So the moon landing was July 20th, 1969. And the old trick is, if I give you a date, can you tell me what day it was? And it's an algorithm. Basically, you do a little math with the year, and then you add it to a number for the century, and then you add the date, and then you do something special if it's a leap year, which 69 wasn't, and it'll output 0 through 6, and that is Sunday through Saturday, and you know what days, and people will do their birthdays. And basically, all you have to do at the end of the day is memorize the math for the year, because that gets hairy. I think the year you have to divide by 4. Then you take that number, you get rid of the remainder, you take that number and add it to the original number, and then you do modulus 7. And because we learned about modulus, I thought that might be a good idea. That's actually what led me there. And when you do the modulus 7, you'll get a number for the year. And it'll be between like 0 and 9. And you'll get a number for the year. And then you have to do something extra with a leap year. There are different numbers for different centuries, but if you do it in the 20th century, 19 whatever, the number is 0. And if you do it since 2000, the number is 6. So if you can just keep the dates there, there's also fire hoops to jump through for Julian calendar, Gregorian is what we're in now, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So what I was going to do is I was going to take a limited case and just do the 1900s. But even that got a little hairy in certain areas, and I thought to myself, you know what? Hold off. I'll use that as an example, and we'll do it for Unit 2 or Unit 3. There are actually some things that I could do which would be better for some of the things we're going to learn in Unit 2 when we start playing around with strings and lists. So I might do it then, or we might do it Unit 3. I don't know, but I'm going to play around with it then. All right? But then I decided that was like 40 miles of bad road. And as I was doing it, I ran into this calendar example. I said, oh, that's kind of neat and kind of nice. And then, can get people used to the idea that, oh, by the way, we can bring in libraries and do some stuff. I don't want to, if any of this is confusing you, forget about it. Go get a cup of tea and go to bed and forget this ever happened. Because I don't want to confuse you in the beginning. In the beginning, Unit 1, I want you to get used to process. Read the slides. Read the Zell. Play around with the examples. Code some Python. Do some stuff. Do that for 5 or 6 days. That's when you're going to hear me say it a million times. 3 different things. First, you're the learner. Then you get the assignments after about a week. Now you're a practitioner. Now you're an artist who's gotten a commission. Now you've got something to do. So you look at the problem, then you can go back and look at all the materials that you've read and you've gotten involved with and figure out a way to solve that problem. Work on the problem. Work on creating the code to do that thing. Now you are the practitioner. At the very end of this process, you are the expert, because you're going to have a quiz and you're going to be asked questions as the expert and you're going to have to give answers. So that's the end. That's when you've learned everything, and that's when you've not just memorized and read about stuff, but you've done the assignment. So now you have experience. Now you've gone through it. Okay, that's the process. At the end of the day, when you engage with these things over and over and over again, you gain expertise and you can answer the questions, and that's what a quiz is. So learner, practitioner, expert. And at the end, hopefully you're an expert. You've learned these topics. You're never going to know anything. It's like math. It's like it's a pyramid. What you learn now is going to build on the next thing, build on the next thing, just like math is. And nobody ever learns anything. The key is to know where to go look when you don't know something. But you're going to know the basics. And you're going to be able to get by, and you're going to be fine. All of that nonsense said, this is Unit 1. I want you to just get used to things. Get Python loaded on your system. Get a setup like this so it's easy for you to create a program, craft some code, and then you're comfortable with taking that file and handing it in. Just different things like that. I want it to be hard for you, which is why I'm throwing you a million examples, because I'm not looking to waste your time. I don't want you to see that email every night and go, oh crap, another video. Yes, I just want to make sure I'm giving you a lot of examples and I'm giving you a lot of things to see. All right, enough said. This was going to be quick, 10 minutes. I don't even know. Hold the phone. Ay caramba, I've gone a half hour. Gracious. Okay, so I'm going to end it. You be good. It's Wednesday. I'm going to get this to you tonight. So the quiz is going to open up tomorrow. The quiz will be open all day Friday. It'll go into the early morning Saturday and close at 2 a.m. So you'll have 30 hours to do that quiz. Newsflash, it's not hard. All right, it's not a quiz. It's an open book test. And you've got 30 hours to do it, okay? And if you sit there and you just chug through the thing, it's going to take you 20 minutes. 20 minutes tops, half hour tops, okay? Psst, use Python. When I ask you to say, what does this code do? Run the code. You've got Python right in front of you. You're not learning it not to use it. Throw it in Python. Just give it a try, all right? That's your little tidbit for watching this video all the way to the end. If I ask you for code in the quiz, what this code does, put it in Python and run it. You have to figure it out. You don't have to do the gymnastics in your head. Put it in Python, run the thing. That's fine with me. I don't care. That's why you have Python. That's why we're learning it, right? So go ahead and do that. And everything's going to be fine. And then Saturday, Sunday, we're opening up Unit 2, and that snowball will officially have been pushed downhill. All right? All right. I'm going to get out of here. Pleasure to meet you, finally see my class for the summertime. And this is going to be fun, and we're going to learn Python, and you'll see everything's going to work out. All right? All right, then I'm going to get out of here. You be good, and I will talk to you later. Bye.